sort of, but to even say that she passed on. I don't feel it because she was just here yesterday. I was saying to the listeners that those days we thought it was the two of them were in love. They had something going. They were dating. The rumors that were in town were right that
it was a PR stunt.
PR, that Onyeka and King Sonia they were dating, because the way they were looking at each other smiling,
I remember that video very vividly, that video they did, and had encounter. I remember, if you remember New Yorker restaurants in GRA.
Yes, I do.
So I remember that I had encounter with Onyeka, personally.
She lives in GRA.
Oh yeah, she was living in GRA. So she was a GRA woman. So we used to go to New Yorker to go and have drinks and all of that. A couple of times I sat down with her, just gist. And when you talk about a woman with fineness, a woman with fineness. I mean, those are the women we grew up seeing. You understand? Who spoke impeccable English language. Who, you could literally, let me use the word demonize them.
That's why
that's what Onyeka was. And I can tell you for free, at that time there was nothing like tribe. All we just wanted to listen to was good music. Onyeka Onwenu. What's her name? Christiasi and Bokwe. I mean, these were ladies that were from the southeast, south.
Eviedna
Ogoli. You understand? They were great women. Do you understand? They were women we loved so much until when everything started going. People started becoming very irresponsible about living generally. Quite unfortunate, really.
Sad.
So sad indeed. I think that she was given a name. Was it a gazelle?
Yes.
The gazelle, right? Yes, I think it was a gazelle.
Elegant gazelle.
Elegant gazelle.
Elegant gazelle.
She carried herself with so much elegance.
Look,
so much elegance.
Look, she was. You could literally listen to her and understand how a woman with fineness should look like and sound like. She was not involved in scandals. She was just there. And it pains me all the time when we see society go down, and women of virtue, women of valor, are not setting up NGOs to train younger women who are coming up. Right. So these people pass on. And with all of the values that they've had over life about how things were supposed to be done, and they go. And the younger ones would emulate the likes of the Bobriskis, right? You understand? I mean,
unthinkable.
How did we get there? Do you get it? You understand? Because they never knew the likes of Onyeka. They never knew the kinds of things the likes of Onyeka stood for. So they never told their story. They never told their story. You understand? So the country is upside down because people who are doing great things, women that are doing great things, are looking away, forgetting that society is going down. Trust me, I think it's another conversation that we need to have another day.
I think social media also is not helping matters.
No, it's not helping matters.
Because for you to get the likes, the attention, the money, the fame from social media, you must do stupid things.
No, we said
mostly, not all the time, but mostly.
He said it this morning when we're coming, right? Yeah. Social media has damaged society, especially in this part of the world. All right. I can't. When I look at Nigeria and I look at being in the US, and I look at Facebook and I remember that Americans don't have time. Everybody's going to work. Everybody's just busy. You don't see a lot of crazy things that I see on social media. No. All right. I said, look, in America they don't use WhatsApp in America. Nigerians wonder. I said, yes, they don't use WhatsApp in America. They don't, because the SMS has what they call MMS, and that's what WhatsApp does. So it's people who have family members out of America that use WhatsApp, all right? And for people to make use of all these social tools, all right, for good things are what they are created for. For us, we look for the horrible things to do. We form all manner of groups in those social media groups and do all manner of stuff.
Question.
It's crazy.
Is it social media or the way we use social media?
Of course, the people and the way we use it. And when people say, oh, they shouldn't regulate social media. No. Look,
I do not support regulation of social media.
Let me tell you, right? It is not good to regulate social media, all right? When you give an average Nigerian 1 mile, an average Nigerian, trust me, he wants to find out whether that place can lead you to 10 miles. That's what it is.
Not Nigerians alone. That's human beings.
Okay, I think I know Nigerians, So while you believe that he has like that for every human being, it's the things that I see, I talk about you guys.
People want opportunities, so they look for it anywhere they can get it.
She's elegant stallion, not gazelle. But I mean, gazelle is still elegant. Elegant stallion. I thought that Onyeka Onwenu song was a love song was years later I looked at it. It was actually a family planning song.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it was an ad advert. It was a
campaign.
Yeah, it was a campaign. It was an ad. Yeah.
Family planning campaign.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize until years later.
Yeah.
Years later.
I mean, that was a lovely rendition, really. It was a lovely rendition. It's just that Femi missed the opportunity to be able to add his baritone voice
to the song.
Yes. Now you understand.
Where were you in 19? That was 1991.
Don't make everybody believe I'm old. And that's not even right. This morning.
He's young. He's a young guy. He's a young guy. He's a minor. One of the minors.
Yeah, it's the minors. Good morning, guys. How are you?
You're welcome, Femi.
Oh boy, what a morning!
Yeah.
What a day, to be honest with you. I don't know how you guys managed to get to Yeka when I was distracted a little bit. Having followed Kofi for the last hour and the bass boost there, that was the conversation. Kofi, thank you for that conversation, man. I hope Ufoma Egbamuno and his newsroom are listening to this. There are so many quotes, noise for the whole of this week. That this conversation this morning should too many trending things there. Like when your guest said NNPC imported bad fuel and sold bad fuel to the marketers, and you sold it to us, and you destroyed our cars, destroyed our generators. And then there's a question you're asking him, and the man said, Kofi, should we have poured the petrol in the drain? We had already paid NNPC. How callous? How callous are our people? So if somebody sells you bad product, rather than, and you've spent 30 million, you've bought a tanker for 30 million, so you must pass the 30 million bad product. What if it's poison? You've got to pass it on and kill people, destroy people's property, instead of suing the person who sold you bad product and getting your money back from him. You transfer this thing. I don't know how. I don't remember the last time I was this angry listening to somebody who and to be honest with you, this is not throwing the man under the bus, because there are quite a number of things that he said that you could sympathize with. Okay, apart from the fact that we've been shouting, bring competition, only one person forever. Then finally somebody rises up, and before the person could even start, they've created more competition for him. Like all these things you people are talking about now, where was it 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago? All of a sudden now you say, we are going to break down. You see what happened in the telecom sector. That's what we're going to do, break down the price. Why have you not broken down these prices for the past 10 years? It's annoying. But the most annoying part for me is saying that it was justified that you pushed bad product and destroyed the common man's properties because you wanted to get your money back. And then you also say, in Rivers alone, 17,000 cars and generators where the government said that you should get the data. You got the data, 17,000. 17,000. And so what did you do to the 17,000? You now said, till today, nobody has come to claim money. How will they come to claim money? Did they even know? What kind of devilry is this country called? Anyway. Okay.
Sorry for me.
This is why we come here every week and we don't talk about the oil sector. Kofi, that's your problem. Deal with it. But I was annoyed. It's not every day that I react to, especially issues of governance and policies. They annoy me, so I don't even touch them. Normally, I do not touch them. The issues, politics, governance, and all of that. In the end, everybody go there all right.
Sorry to just add to what you're saying. I was just telling me a few minutes ago, right?
Yep.
So our mentees, we help them register businesses. Those who want to register limited liability and all that. Are you aware that after a company is registered with CAC, they don't tell you at the beginning. They don't tell you. So there's a clause later you find out that if you don't download your certificate in 7 days, they're going to charge you more money. They've taken your email address.
Yeah.
They've taken your SMS.
Yeah.
That they can literally tell you that your certificate is ready. Please download. You pay as much as about 15,000 naira to collect all of those things back. He was not asking me, is that part of the ease of doing business in Nigeria?
So it's for me, I see it as mental problem. There's this fundamental mental derailment that we see in Nigeria, call it FMD. It's very fundamental. It's mental derailment. It's quite akin to security operatives trying to stop people from crossing the road to instead use the pedestrian bridge by hiding in corners and waiting for them to cross the road, and you start chasing them up and down.
It doesn't work. It's not supposed to.
It's the most ridiculous, most stupid thing that happens everywhere else in the world. There will be very clear signs. Very clear signs. Please take the pedestrian bridge.
Yes.
And if you try to cross the road, there will be somebody say, please, no, pedestrian bridge. No, they will actually hide. You will see signs 3 kilometers. They will hide. It's like
there's somewhere ahead of you.
I tell you, it's the same thing.
You can't miss it.
It's the same thing they do for what do you call them? One way BRT lane.
Everything.
They assume everybody. So somebody who has just traveled to town for the first time and is driving around, you know,
he doesn't know his way,
and then you are hiding. You are hiding at the corner. Just wait for him to turn there. Catch her. It's the same rubbish, Nigerians. From the moment when there was that hue and cry about how the bad fuel in, I think, 2022 destroyed people's stuff. You now say you collected data and you are now sitting in your office waiting. If they like, make them come. Where was the announcement?
Come on.
That people who... So now that you've mentioned it, if people want to now come out now, many of them have thrown those cars and those generators away. Even if you still have them, you're able to fix them. How can you prove? There's no more proof.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's leave the oil sector.
No, it's heartbreaking.
Which is why this program talks about the non-oil sector. Let us talk about the non-oil sector, and we'll take you back a few years to build on this introduction. The introduction usually by the brainiest man in the land. Now, let's start with the question: did COVID-19 disrupt your business? Did it? Well, maybe it did. Maybe it did not. However, if it did disrupt your business, I'm sure you know you are not alone. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, in the data they release, there is an indication that Nigeria's non-oil export trade is showing mixed performances. It has not recovered to the pre-COVID levels. It has not. And, you know, you could easily argue that is actually a global phenomenon. We have not. So there's some economies have managed to go back close or where they were or close to where they were. Nigeria certainly hasn't. For instance, before COVID, Nigeria recorded $4.4 billion in the first half of that year. First half of the year before COVID struck. Now, in the first half of 2024, what did we record? 3.16 billion. Check the difference. That's over 1.3 billion of shortage compared to pre-COVID. Okay? In 2023, which was last year, 2.98 billion. However, you need to wait for this. The informal export has risen. Okay? Informal export has risen. More like informal exports have risen to $134.99 million in 2023. That's from the previous record of $114.2 million. So business has not recovered, but the informal exports segment is rising. Now, experts can tell us why. But generally, you blame it on COVID, right? Blame it on COVID. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Cocoa Processors Association of Nigeria, they are called COPAN, his name is Otumba Felix Oladunjoye, he's come out to say the dismal performance of the non-oil exports is due to the negative impacts of fiscal and monetary policies on exporters, especially the naira depreciation we experience, the rising inflation rate, and of course the high interest rates that banks charge. These things are combining to scatter business for business people. Now I'm going to quote that Otumba Oladunjoye. This were his words, verbatim. He said, the current foreign exchange policy that allowed the floating and depreciation of the naira is directly causing high inflation in all local transactions. For example, the average local... Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, the game changer, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, tomato. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, the game changer.
Folake, where are you going? Won't you go to the cashier to settle your medical bills?
Bills? Cashier? My HMO already handles that.
You and these HMOs every time. Is it not the same HMOs we all know?
No, Reliance HMO is different. For example, I'm only here because I needed a physical examination. Other times, I chat with a doctor from the comfort of my home. I can even get a prescription delivered.
But they only cover you when you are ill.
That's not true. I had my facials done courtesy of my HMO. Even my workout sessions are covered by Reliance HMO.
How about hospitals?
Reliance HMO has a hospital roaming. Their relationship with providers makes it so easy to access care at any facility. Approvals take a short time.
They tell you what you're covered for?
With the Reliance Care app, I have all I need in my back pocket. I can connect with the rep in seconds.
How is that even possible?
This is Reliance HMO, the next generation health plan for businesses. Visit www.getreliancehealth.com or call 0201 700 1580.
Sonia Tomato Mix in a new stand-up pouch.
In every corner of Africa, there are stories waiting to unfold. Stories of strength and wisdom woven through time, teaching the next generation, igniting the flame of knowledge, embracing tradition, nurturing dreams, and building legacies. These are the heroines who inspire generations, because W Initiative empowers women to take control and be the architect of their future.
Be part of their legacy. The W Initiative is searching for 100 African women who have inspired their communities. Visit powerof100.thewcommunity.com to nominate African women who deserve recognition.
Your nomination counts.
Access more than banking.
Lagos, get ready for a powerful year-end edition of The Round Table. This is where Nigeria's biggest radio voices, your favorite top OAPs on Nigeria Info FM, come together to dissect the most impactful stories of 2024.
The cost of electricity is going to make Nigerians more sick.
As much as the governor is saying that this is all about resource control.
You see, this public statement, of course, reflects the Nigerian mentality.
And so here we have a Nigeria where one day you speak about fuel price, the next day you must consider diesel.
Most of these governors are just there. They have no idea.
From seismic economic shifts to explosive social movements, nothing is off the table.
For 4 or 5 weeks, it was one bad story or the other.
You're beginning to wonder what's happening with government agencies. Who is ensuring that the individuals...
Why would the minister walk out of you? The state minister will resume to the same office the following day.
Join us for an intense conversation, bold insights, and moments that define this unforgettable year. The Round Table, Monday, November 25th at 9 a.m. It's the ultimate gathering of Nigeria's most influential voices, all bringing their sharpest takes on stories that matter. The Round Table. Don't miss this dramatic wrap-up on Nigeria Info FM, where 2024's biggest stories come to life. The Round Table. Let's talk.
It's Konga Yakata, our biggest sale of the year. Every day till November 30th is Black Friday. Shop genuine computing, Starlink kits, electronics, mobile phones, and many more at up to 85% off. Powered by the original manufacturers. It is cheap and safe at Konga, the e-commerce group you trust.
Hey, that time of the year don't reach again, oh. Flow Festival of Joy promo don't land gidigba. And we dey make them happen heavy with bracket prices. Hear them now. 5 year over Toyota Prados. 5 Kia Picantos. No be sport, you know. He go even heavy vaso. Sake of say 15 keke napep still there for win. Plus 150 generators, 200 sewing machines, and 300 grinding machines. Ah, you see the wait? Make yourself be one of the lucky winners in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Just dial *611#, choose your price, and recharge now with Shinkly money. Where small reach 1,000 naira, go reach 100,000 naira. Make you forget better chance to win ogbonge prizes from Glow. Promo go start from October 1 till end of January 2025. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Get carry go stamp by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, and the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, NLRC. Terms and conditions there.
Unlimited.
This November, prepare for an epic clash of intellects. I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition is back. November the 11th, 2024, 32 of Lagos's brightest secondary school students will step up to the mic, where words become weapons and ideas ignite battles. From Monday, November the 11th at 4 p.m., they'll face off in fierce debates with only one goal: to be crowned the I Beg to Differ champion. Every round is a fight for glory, where one brilliant mind will rise above the rest. Who will be crowned the champion of thought? The ultimate showdown of wit, wisdom, and will is about to begin. I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition Season 8 commences Monday, November the 11th at 4 p.m. For sponsorship, please call or WhatsApp 0805-581-5844. I Beg to Differ is proudly supported by Card Center Nigeria Limited, Codros Group, Obi Wizzy, and Lucas Green Fashion House.
Prize money sponsor, Tollywood College, Lagos.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back. Just before we went on that break, we were quoting the chairman of COPAN, the Cocoa Processors Association of Nigeria, having come up with that annoying conversation that I had, which was beautiful. Again, my heart I doff to my colleague Kofi Bartels. This is how, I mean, which is why Nigeria Info is dear to my heart, and I feel really privileged to have been a part of birthing this station from the get-go. That's how you hold an interview. Respectful, but still hold their feet to the fire. You know, force them to say things they don't want to say. Force them, and that was really, really professional. It wasn't. Again, there's a difference between journalism and activism, and the lesson. In fact, I'm going to tell Sheriff to use this morning's program to train upcoming broadcasters as how you navigate the fine lines between journalism and activism, because a lot of journalists are just activists. Fight. Not be so. Calm down. Let the person talk, but use his words against him. And don't worry. Don't cast aspersions. The audience are not stupid. They are smarter than you give them credit for most times. I mean, just look at the whole American. Anyway, let's leave the American situation. So here we go. Yes, sorry, I've not turned on your mic. You know the. Sorry, Nii.
Yeah, thank you,
Kofi,
sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you sound me one more time on radio again, I will punch you. That man, your guest, who is he again?
He is the spokesperson of Petron. Petron is the Petrol Retailers and Owners Association of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's like IPMAN.
Yeah, IPMAN. We appreciate what they do, and we understand that they have their own challenges. And I am happy he came out and cleared things. But he also made very insensitive. Now, if this is the mentality of the elite, you know, because if you are that big and you own your own stations and all of that, that mentality, that thing he said on national radio, they sold us bad fuel. So, I mean, were we supposed to pour it in the drain? So we sell it. If it was in any serious country, serious Western country, in fact, by the time he finishes that thing he was saying, there should be law enforcement waiting for him to say, because you've made yourself, I mean, quite suable. And if we were in the country where people had so much trust in the judiciary, by now lawyers should be gathering together for a class action suit against whoever is responsible for what happened if the statute of limitation has not yet passed. But again, I don't know. The callousness, the way we feel wrong things are right. Ani, you're going to say something. Sorry, man. I caught you short.
Yeah,
you're going to make a point.
I forgot what I was even trying to talk about.
Let us go. Let's forget it. Let's forget his people and move on. I said I was quoting the COPAN chairman, Otumba Felix Oladunjoye, who said the current foreign exchange policy that allowed the floating and depreciation of the naira is directly causing high inflation in all local transactions. And he gave an example. The example is that the average local price of a ton of cocoa beans in Nigeria last year, 2023, was around 3.2 million naira. How much is it now? 15 million naira for a ton of cocoa beans. From 3.2 million to 15 under a year. Now, what this means is that you need at least 5 times your working capital to maintain your export trade transactions, with the current average cost of borrowing at about 35%. So, and this is why they say informal export trade is thriving. And we've been shouting this thing to you since we started this show. Informal export trade. All this thing that is happening, as long as you are trading in spheres where you can earn some dollars, you are better off. Anyway, let me say good morning and welcome to you guys again. I'm Femi Obong-Daniels. We talk about non-oil export, fintech, and fintech peripherals. Niya Dioshun, he's our non-oil export coach. You heard him. You haven't heard Razak Olaegbe in this particular conversation yet, but of course you heard him when he and Kofi were talking about the stallion, the
elegant stallion.
The elegant stallion, and those memories of what the musical arts used to be. We're streaming live on Facebook, don't forget. Also on YouTube. You can join us. Please send WhatsApp messages to a number. Now, look, if you want to be a part of this show, you probably already know the studio numbers. The studio numbers will help you to get on this show. We will try and make sure we can take some of your comments and please send to that on this show. Kofi, what's that number again?
The number for the WhatsApp.
For WhatsApp, 0809-597-5805. In studio, 0809-597-5805. However, the WhatsApp number, because this conversation is once a week, and there's plenty that you want to inquire about during the course of the week. There's a separate number for that, and that's what I'm going to give you now. If you don't already have it, write it down. 0912-171-2885. Again, 0912-171-2885. Remember, like the studio WhatsApp number, it's WhatsApp only. Oh, don't send SMS. I hear that they don't read SMS. In fact, it's quite probable that the thing is not even in a phone that they can see SMS. So send WhatsApp messages, not calls, not SMS, just WhatsApp messages. 0912-171-2885. Let's go into the conversation. Welcome, Razak. Welcome, Niyi. Niyi, let me start with you. Tell me about your COVID experience from a business perspective.
Well, I mean, when you talk about COVID, so that's going to take me back to fintech. Okay, so that was about the time I was actually birthing, one of our fintech solutions, right? So, and it was a mixed multitude for everybody. All right, for some of us who, at that time, problems came, everybody became confused. People were thinking about how to, process monies and all of those kind of things, and some of us were able to take advantage of it. But one thing people must understand is that every time there is a so-called problem, what we see are opportunities. Right. So you open your eyes, you open up your mind. Okay, there is a problem. There's a problem of payment. Okay, there's a problem of being able to do this. You understand? You must be thinking, because it is opportunities that make people wealthy. Okay, it's just unfortunate that in our climb, everybody's doing, everybody's either doing one buying and selling, and people are not thinking. People go to university, come out, and the value of the school they've gone through, you understand, is not able to add value to their lives. You get it? So I mean, we took advantage of what happened during COVID, all right, to be able to birth, a fintech solution, at that time, and that was what happened for us.
Brilliant.
COVID.
Yeah.
Bad experience.
Bad experience.
May it never happen again.
Amen to that too. I say amen, knowing that worse things are probably coming on a global scale.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's not prophecy of doom, but
what it is, actually.
Everybody should just prepare themselves. Yeah.
Waves. All those waves are not good for mental health. It can drive you nuts.
Yeah.
I know any business that went on that. Till now they've not recovered.
I mean, look, let me tell you, I think we had this conversation again in that. We've talked about the fact that some people are visionaries, right? And you must, as a business person, be very sensitive. All right? You must. It's a requirement as a business person. What that does to you is that you must know when to pivot.
Yep.
Okay, I was telling him this morning, you get to a point where you are able to take a problem and turn it to an advantage.
Yes, most certainly.
We started this program, and I was telling him, look, this program that we started, like play, all right, has birthed a logistics arm. Yeah. I mean, like we started, but okay, so people asking questions, okay, how do I export to this? I say, okay, what do we do? Okay, we want to make sure that these people don't have problems. You set it up because it's a huge value chain, all right? If you don't take ownership of the value chain, people are not meticulous enough, all right? We went to NACO at some point. I was looking at how we're going to export some certain stuff. And one guy ran after us, one of those, I don't want to call it, he's not a tout, but the job men in NACO. And it was like, okay, that they could do export for us, and all of those things. Okay, that was even before we eventually got to register as NACO agents. We're not NACO agents, right? And you're not aware. I know you're not aware.
I'm not aware.
So we're not NACO
breaking
agents.
News. Fantastic.
So that's what it is. We thank God.
When you finish, you will explain to me how it
all happened, right?
How it put soup in my pot.
Okay, that's fine.
And how it happened. And again, for those who are like, which one is NACO? Is it biscuit or sweet? Because people are going to think of a brand.
Yeah.
But this is a very, very big deal. So for those who are not in the sector and asking, what does it mean to be a NACO agent? Big deal.
Okay, yeah. So normally when you want to export, right, you're either exporting by sea or you're exporting by air. Okay, so NACO is like a clearing organization for you to be able to export by air.
You will notice them at the airport.
Oh yeah, they're very powerful.
Very powerful. Yeah,
you get it. So so when we had that conversation, we went to NACO. So that guy ran after us, and was like, okay, he could do our stuff and all of those things, So when we finished with the guy, okay, he took me around to give me some rates. I said, okay. I was not telling Razak. I said, Razak, so me that will now carry people's goods that are my mentees. Sorry, I give it to this guy that does not have an office. You said, the people will ask you, Danny, is it you? Is it you that people know?
You now start to shalaye.
Yeah, you understand? So we got to a point where we're like, no. We need to really be able to take charge, of this very, very process. Which means that if you say you want to export, you want to do cargo, you bring it to us, we understand what it is, all right? If it's a contraband, we make sure that, look, you don't give us a contraband to export, we don't want to get into trouble, we're legitimate people, all right? But we must take ownership and responsibility for that transaction. And that is because we saw that there was a need for it. You got it. There was a need for it, you understand? So we don't leave things to chances. If the guys who are in our community comes and say, okay, if they come and say, okay, we want to export this, their mind goes to rest. That is because they know there's somebody who is leading the team, who understands responsibility and making sure that things do not go wrong. That's how far we've gone. But we thank God today, that all of this that we've done, you understand, is able to birth, those kind of opportunities for us and for our people, really.
Yeah.
So it's not just about us, actually.
Interesting. Let's just piggyback a bit to the issue at hand. And I was going to ask you this question, but because Razak has been quiet, I'm going to start with you. So the informal export sector is thriving compared against the formal one. I'm wondering, I know you research, and I know you are waiting for me to say this, but what in your thought is responsible for this? You did mention how bad COVID was. I had my own experience, and it was a mixed blessings for me, not because I started fintech like Nii and positioned myself to make more money, but I had a baby during the lockdown, like in May, late May, smack in the middle of the. So all this, my brain could not even think of any.
I just remember. I just remember Yanakwa Ibom.
Well, whatever. Talk to me, Jerry.
No be joke.
Not be joke.
Anyway, the informal sector, why are they thriving? One thing, no documentation. If you are doing formal importation export, there's so many documentation.
So regulation is regulation that kills you.
Over 40.
Okay.
Bill of lading, LC, NEPC certificate, certificate of origin, certificate of this, custom paper. They will kill you. So it's better you do informal. There's no documentation. That's why it's trying.
I don't understand. I beg, help me. What is Razak saying?
It's funny, right? when Razak was answering, I said, this Razak has turned to exporter. You don't understand. Because I never knew he was going to be able to thrash it. Right? Because if you remember at the beginning of the show, right? I told people that, look, there are two kinds of export.
Yes, sir.
It's informal or informal. The corporate chairman is talking formal export.
Formal export, yeah.
Because that requires a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
When you're talking about informal export, a lot of Nigerians have jackpot. And that's why the classification of exporting food without documentation falls into. So people are doing personal shopping.
Personal shopping, which we talked about from the very first episode of this program.
On that day that I went to NACO, right? If you see the cartons of ugu, in one of the parts of the terminal, all right? The cartons of ugu, right? They were packed. They were being exported out of Nigeria. You will fear. The good thing about it is that, like I've always said, these things are around our corners. Right? They're around our corners. We got family members abroad. I told my younger sister in California, I said, look, go to Atajiri.
Yeah.
You guys do not have any moral justification to buy anything today. You understand? You say you want to buy anything in the US that we don't have on my platform. All right? So the whole idea is for people to be able to say, look, take your products. There are family members. Ugu is there. Palm oil is there. There's egusi. There's ogbono. Just name it. There's dates. There's just mention all of those things that are just around us. Nigerians need that. We have talked about Ikonogo at some point here. All right? We have talked about those little sweets. Tom Tom. All right? In the group, somebody was asking me, that Mr. Ni, can I export those my manufactured goods? I said yes. All those semolina, your semovita, all of those products are all exportable. Nigerians are dying. All right, I've said it several times here. When even in the US, and I'm looking at the bowl of gari, I'm at a crossroad of whether to drink it and it will finish, or not drink it and be looking at it. Because I don't want it to finish. That's how much food is to Africans. You can't tell me I should sit in America and be eating burritos. You eat burritos, you eat pizza, you take popcorn. Look, the best it can do for you is continue to add weight.
But outside of that, we still can't compete.
Yeah.
Because basically we export primary products.
Yeah.
Our cocoa, our sesame beans. Until we can process. We can't process, we can't be competitive. And we can't add value. We can't add value, we can't compete at international trade. We can't. And we can't do that. How do we end foreign exchange? How?
Interesting. I'm having some comments here. I'm getting your comment. Okpara Uche Nestor from Surulere. I just saw your comment now. It's long, but I get it. I would transfer this, and because it's about something on the sports show, I will transfer it to the sports team, and I will follow up for you, okay? Here's something from AA. Good morning, Mr. Femi Obong-Daniels. You owe me an S. There's an S in my name and a hyphen between Obong and Daniel. It vexes me, and it vexes my wife more when people write my name wrong. So it's OBONG-DANIELS. Thank you very much. I'm deeply interested in learning about import and export, but my questions are, is the training physical or virtual? What happens to interested persons who are willing but financially unable to embark on this export? Sir, answer quick.
Is there anything you can do with that money? There's nothing. But again, all I can tell you is that there are opportunities for group export, right? It does not mean you won't have money at all. Look, I've sold properties to be able to do some certain things.
But didn't we start by saying, even if you don't have money, if you can go back to your village,
look,
and facilitate.
Look, let me tell him. I did not start outright exporting.
Okay.
I started export business as a broker. Look, it's a long value chain. You can sit down in your village and source for products. All you just do is you wake up every morning and you're going to find out where they sell this, where they sell that, and go online and tell the whole world that you do offer so service.
Yeah.
You got it. So everybody will know that, if I need cocoa in a particular place in those states, okay, come and meet me now.
Razak is the guy.
Yeah, Razak is the guy. Yeah. You understand? And you're able to layer a certain amount of money. The man said, because you're a middleman now.
And without shishi in his pocket.
Look.
He begins to
Let me tell you, all the innovations that I've been able to do were the times I did not have any cover in my pocket. God needed to humble me. He needed to humble me to sit me in one location. So people need to be very sensitive, thinking, I don't have money. I don't. Heaven is going to fall. Ask yourself, what is God telling you? What exactly are you listening to God in that your moment?
He's preaching.
Pastor Niadiosho.
Okay, but before
Reverend Father,
before he becomes the middleman, he needs to come and learn.
Which takes us to the other question he asked. You people are talking. I mean, you mentor. There is a community.
Yes.
He's asking, is it physical or virtual?
So look. In the coming year, I'm going to be traveling around the country, right? Because I'm beginning to see how I can help people do more. We want to be able to bring in equipment for processing food, dehydrators, all manner of equipment. Just to make sure people can do stuff.
Okay.
You get it. But now it's virtual.
We got to run. If you have more questions, 0912-171-2885. 0912-171-2885. That's where all the conversations begin. Quickly, good morning, Femi, Kofi, Ni, and Razak. COVID-19 sank the company I was working then. Never recovered till now fully. I've gained a lot from this show. I have started my own hustle at the background. Not easy, but we can put food on our tables. FG needs give new companies leverage. Well done, guys. This is Ayo.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and that your message gladdens my heart.
Gladdens my heart.
What else? Who else? At the moment, I can't get my money back. Okay. Please, what is our faith that bought into new computer? As the developer claims any contract revoked after we've made. Okay, I don't have the answers to that question. I don't know whether it relates. I think it's something else. But gentlemen, we gotta go. Thank you very much. I was going to ask what's the way forward. I'm out of time, but the way forward is clear. I have just 1 minute. The community, which this young man, I'm glad to be. Razak and Niyi have taught me to think about. Media. What do you do? I'm a media professional. Oh boy, when hunger. I'm a media professional. I'm proud to be, but this personal shopping. Even me, I advise everybody I know now. All the people that have, even the people that are jackpotting, I will say, look, make sure you have your contacts here. Even you that are there can coordinate. I'll be a personal shopper from here. Lack of adequate funding. It's not helping the exporter. The way forward, well, we don't have time. But let's leave it. Nii, we'll continue to address this matter. Thanks for coming on the show, Nii.
Thank you.
Fantastic
Thank
guy.
Listeners here.
Razak Olaigbe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And once again, Kofi Battles, you are awesome. We will return same time next week. Until then, I'm Femi Obong-Daniels. Remember, non-oil export gives you access to global markets. These global markets will bring you Forex. Add them together, the world in your pocket. Have a wonderful week ahead.
You go feel the heat.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.